What's up, guys? So I recently had a injury to my hand, and specifically my middle finger, and I see it's inflamed. You can see it's happened yesterday. So what happens is the tendon, you can see the tendon in my ring finger really good coming straight up, and it goes between knuckle ridges over the top of the center of the knuckle. That's the normal way. And over here, now as of right now, mine's in there, but it'll roll off. Under certain circumstances, it rolls off and rolls toward my pinky. I've got a video that I'm going to put into this video that shows that happening at the doctor's office yesterday. All right, for people asking about my finger, here's what's happening. Let me show you. Watch the tendon in the middle finger. See that tendon there? It'll roll off to the left. Ow, there it went. Oh, ouch. See, normally it's supposed to stay up and down, but it'll slip like that. Ow. Ow, it makes my finger jump. If I make a fist beforehand, it really does it. Staying in the lane now, and that's good. But when I start to open, so that's the situation. So what this is called is a boxer's knuckle. And what happens is there's a ring of tissue that's kind of like your stomach fascia that wraps around that tendon and keeps it just in that little valley on my good finger there. All my good fingers except for the first one. And you can tear it and then you can rupture it where it completely, it's like a cigar ring. That's that little ring that's on a cigar. It's like a little ring like that, just keeps it in there. And like, I don't know exactly what causes it, but there's a lot of flexion, or your finger's really bent. Like, let me switch my, like maybe your knuckles bent really a lot, and then you're pushing against something and you're really pulling, and it just causes stress to that thing and makes it screw up. And so there's tons of reasons. You could have arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and inflammatory diseases. You could just be getting old like me, and tissues aren't as strong as they used to be. But either way, that's the injury. I have not seen the orthopedic hand surgeon yet, but I'm going to. I'm hoping to get this plastic device called a sagittal brace. Or something like that. And it's basically this little, it looks like it's 3D printed plastic, or it could be cast material that fits around your first, your third, and then has like a bridge. That's what it is, a sagittal bridge. And it goes between here so that it keeps your finger kind of floated up, and it relieves that flexor tendon from slipping off. It doesn't put any pressure on it, just lets it float there. If you leave it there long enough, the idea is from 6 to 8 weeks, it'll self-heal. So I'm hoping that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is that it's ripped, it's repaired beyond, it's damaged beyond repair, and they're gonna have to do surgery and reattach it. And I hope that that's not the deal, but I won't know until we get in further. Now I can move it actually pretty well without this brace on. So I had a buddy of mine asking me, can you flex it like this? I can do the full range. The problem is when I come down, when I start to come back up, it might slip over, and it hurts, it causes inflammation, it feels like a bee sting. And so actually playing guitar, pulling the fingers in, that part's not hard at all. I did that while I was in the doctor's office. I put my hand, let me see, I can't show you because I'm holding it, but I put my hand on my, against my arm like this, and I was just pressing. It didn't hurt that finger at all. But again, as I try to flex it back out to reposition, it hurts. So it's definitely going to hinder guitar playing, but I'll do whatever they say, and it may mean that I'm off of playing real guitar for 6 to 8 weeks. And unfortunately, I'm in a band, at least one that's gigging out. I'm in 2. Sometimes I'll play acoustic solo stuff. Sometimes I just jam with people, practicing at home. It's all going to be hindered. All right, so I went to the ortho, and my fear was confirmed. She said that she's pretty sure that it's torn, it won't heal itself, and that I'm gonna need surgery. So she changed that splint, that finger splint that I had earlier. She changed it out. I'll show you this in a second. She got the cast made that is basically that sagittal band splint I was telling you about. And I'm scheduled to go in. I had an MRI today as well. So this morning I went in, she saw my hand, she scheduled an MRI, and got me fitted for the splint. The splint just keeps me from hurting it any further until surgery. And surgery will be Friday. So I had MRI today, and she's gonna look at that and see how bad it is. And then I'll give her a game plan in advance and know exactly what needs to be done. But pretty much I asked her, I said, will this not heal itself if I leave it alone? And she said, nope, it won't. And I believe it, because if you recall on this channel, we talk about the hernia. I know that I'd read where people thought that if you leave your umbilical hernia alone long enough, it'll repair. And it never happened for me. I've never spoken to anybody online or even know of anyone where their umbilical just sealed itself up. So it's a similar idea, I guess, with this band. Once you've torn it, it's torn. And it's really important to me. I told her that. I said, whatever the best, probable, most permanent fix is what I want, because I play guitar and I use my hand for a living. It's really, really hard. So that being said, I'll show a video of what they made for me. So this is the splint. Okay, so they take this material that's basically some plastic that shape changes as it gets hot, and they fold it up and wrap it around your... The other ones that I'd seen, it was the first and the third that they do this ring to, but I don't know why she chose to do it to my pinky and my first fingers. Then there's a piece of Velcro over the top to help further keep it down so that I can't really pull back. So the idea is to prevent it from really being used right here, because that tendon coming back is what keeps pulling. And then she stuck that piece in the center to stabilize it so that I can't bend too much in either. So I do feel a little bit of some, I do feel a little bit of some pain in that pinky from this thing. It's kind of tight down there, but it's usable, and I can still type at work, but I have to peck. So I'm basically pecking here and then using my right hand the normal way. Those straps are just to keep it in place a little better. Much easier to use my hand, just less length for the fingers. So I don't know. It's much more protected though. I haven't activated this tendon all day long, whereas with that straight band that you saw from earlier, I could feel this would activate pain occasionally, and this one doesn't. So there we go. So there's the splint. So again, my next step is to have surgery this Friday. I hope they knock me out. I can't stand pain, and I'm pretty good with anesthesia. But this is just another of the many things that constantly happen to me throughout my life that I'll find a way to overcome. I'll have to go through a little bit of rehab with it. I'm hoping that it's not too long. I mean, I'm kind of mentally prepared for 2 months. I hope it's not going to be longer than that, but I'll have to do whatever I have to do. And I'll document, you know, she's going to have that, and then stitches are out on Monday or something like that. Supposedly she's looking over the MRI right now, getting a game plan. But it's just, these things happen. You got to deal with them. So appreciate it, guys. I'll make some follow-up videos later as the time comes for, or maybe even just after surgery. But that's my next step, is surgery, and that's in 4 days. Take care.